Are you really ready?
All right, everybody, we're back again. It's a little bit of a surprise live stream. We're coming back to the World Championships, Barista Championships in Milan, Italy, where we've got them doing the live announcements right now. So we're going to follow along. Here they are. We got Brent and Dan.
So all of our World Coffee Championships finalists from today are now considered WCE All-Stars. Woo! And what this means is the
So, of course, with any of these finals announcements, there's going to be a lot of preamble. And that's what they're talking about here.
World Coffee Championship finalists from around the globe to take part in demonstrations, presentations, and interactive features.
And to start the award ceremony, we must take the opportunity once again to thank our incredible event sponsors.
All right, so of course the sponsors are a big part of it. So what's been happening since our last live stream, which we ended about an hour or so ago, after Emi Fukuhori was the competitor, she was the final competitor of the day. The judges had spent their time deliberating the scores, making sure their scores were accurate to their experience. And then those score sheets were turned in and then calculated by scorekeepers, who then would tally all the scores from all the competitors and then rank them. So how you win is that the scoring is, the ranking is strictly on scoring. So whichever competitor has the highest number of points wins the entire competition. Now the reality is that sometimes you find yourself doing better on certain days than others. Like we've seen times when certain competitors in the semifinal rounds may have received higher points than they received during the finals round. So that's not unusual. Of course, there's always variations because there are different judges. Now, one of the things that they try to do during the finals is to maintain the same team of judges so that the scoring across all 6 competitors will be very consistent. And there can be some level of comparison between the two, between the competitors, so that as they progress through the day, they can do some comparison as far as, how their judging has been going. And one of the things that we kind of play around with is that, when I'm the head judge, I don't really pay attention to the scores per competitor. Once we're done with one competitor, we're done. We move on, get to the next competitor. And one of the things that I like to do with our judges, with our finalist judges, I ask them at the end of after we've turned our score sheets and everything is done, I ask them, based on what you remember, just based on solely what you remember, how would you rank the top 3? And I let them choose the top 3, 1, 2, 3. And it's interesting. Sometimes, just based on what they remember from their experience, a lot of times they'll choose the right champion, or the champion that actually had the most points. And it's always a fun little exercise, I think, just amongst judges. It has no real bearing on what has happened, what has transpired in the scoring. And the nice thing, so now they're thanking the volunteers. In these kind of competitions, they really rely, the WCE, the World Coffee Events, really relies upon people to volunteer their time to the competition.
Thank you very much. You did a wonderful job.
I'm not sure who Carly Curran. Oh, Carly Curran is one of the staff of WCE.
Assistant stage manager.
So they're talking about the different people that are working, people paid by the WCE to be there. They're transported by the WCE, housed and fed by the WCE to do certain positions where most of the judges, all of the judges and all of the volunteers, of course, foot their own bill to be there. So the WCE does not pay for any of the judges and the volunteers to be there. They don't really provide much of anything other than a dinner. So the judges get a dinner that is paid for by a sponsor. So the WCE does not pay for any of that. They just, but they do pay for some of these guys. I believe they're paying. Of course, Bart is part of the staff, and Dan, I'm not sure. They probably brought him in, so they give him some kind of stipend and travel to come and talk.
Also, a big thanks to our WCE photographers Luca Rinaldi and Michele Itzulisi. Also, a little bit strange part. Thank you to all the MCs. Sierra Yo, Dale Harris, Vincente Partida, Dan Fellows.
And Dale Dupree. Bart Dupree. And Dale Harris.
It's Bart's.
So also a big thanks to all our remote commentators. We had a lot.
Oh, no,
of
Bart has his
them, so
own
thank you
place.
very
I'm
much.
sorry. And he does not work for WC. He actually has his own company with his brother.
Sonja Björk-Gran, thank you. Steve Layton, Kim Elena Yoshu, Kyle Ramage, Lam Butler, Scott Connery, Peter Giuliano, Mike Strumpf, Jen Rugolo, Chris So, Kim Staalman, and Morgan Ektroch. Thank you very much.
All right.
We
good.
also need to thank our incredible AV team who make all of the live stream, the camera work.
The AV team, good. What they really need, you know, one thing, I don't know if they use the same AV team. I wish that they did because, and I think they may, but I don't know if there's any continuity with the audiovisual because they just never seem to really be, they don't have enough coverage. They just don't have enough camera coverage. Like we noticed that with the discussion after with the competitors, that there's a lot of talking, but they're not really following because I don't know if they have people mounting the manning the cameras or not. This is Cindy Ludvigsen. She is the director of the WCE, and she's been in that position for quite a long time now, maybe over 10 years. And let's see what she has to say a little bit.
So many people, and this is a very, very big room, and this is a lot of people. But it is really a privilege that we're able to come together here, and it is so special to finally see the efforts of our world stage back in action. So this championship is such a pivotal event for many people. It's not just the baristas that come on stage. But it is.
That it is.
Also,
And, you know, it's really interesting. We have a lot of competitors. And, you know, this is the thing. So competitors come from all over the world. And I get the opportunity to work with a lot of them. And they're very excited to come and represent their countries and have that chance to maybe get the gold ring. And hopefully ideally they would all get that chance. Unfortunately, they won't. Only one person will get it. And unfortunately, right now, out of 38, there are 32 people sitting in the audience that are disappointed already. So there were 38 competitors starting off with the championship from 38 different countries, and now they're down to 6. So now we have 6. So 32 have already been disappointed, but hopefully they're finding some excitement and some value in learning experience. And I think there's always a value in a learning experience because when I spent the years as a competitor in the U.S. Barista Championship, it was always the best part of it wasn't really the performance and the adulation, although that was kind of nice. But really the best part of it for me was being able to meet other baristas from around the country. In their case, they're meeting baristas from around the world, and there's a sense of camaraderie and learning and sharing that happens at these competitions that I think is super exciting, and that's truly the most important thing. And so as I've moved away from being a competitor and into the judging sphere and traveling the world to the different World Barista Championships as well as the national championships that I oversee, you get to see baristas come together and share and just watch their passion grow because of it. And so it's really, really a great opportunity for that. And as we see here, and this is the audience picture, and it's a pretty darn small audience. Like it's, normally the stage is really, or the audience is really large. But of course, I imagine that even with this being held at Host Milan, which is one of the largest food, restaurant, hotel trade shows in the world, it is, just empty. Like the Especially Coffee Association show held in New Orleans last month. We did a video on the Spro Coffee channel, on the Ono Coffee channel about it, and it was just desolate, just amazingly desolate. And it's surprising they did this. I guess they wanted to have this competition. the U.S. chapter of the Specialty Coffee Association petitioned the worldwide organization to cancel the coffee championships in the United States because of COVID concerns. And that was probably a more prudent route because the turnout was just dismal. I mean, there's no other way to put it other than a dismal turnout. And if we look at the audience for today, I mean, this is the finals announcement, and to see this, that's really just a few people. There's not very many people there. And it's really kind of, when you've been to a lot of these, it's a little bit shocking because you're like, wow, there's not many people attending. But, that's all right because, the best thing about it is that the event did happen and it gives the people, the competitors, the opportunity to compete. And to be honest with you, if you were going to compete in any year, typically there's 50 to almost 60 competitors in the World Barista Championship. This year there's 38. So the chances of you winning is greater because of sheer numbers, right? So not too bad.
Of course, judges and volunteers, you do so much, and we appreciate you, and the competitors appreciate you as well, I'm sure. And congratulations to all the competitors, both here and then the national champions who were unable to make it and will be competing in Melbourne. I'll see you next year.
Thank you very much. So next up, we'd like to welcome from our official grinder sponsor, Malconic.
So now we're still going through all of the but look at that. I mean, look how small the number of competitors, of spectators. Like really, in previous years, there would be massive amounts of people, and just they would build stands around the entire arena, and to see it now is just like, wow. There's just so, it looks crowded because they've packed everyone to a small bleacher section, but really, compared to previous years, wow, it's really surprising how empty it is. And this is the biggest show for restaurants, hotels, and food service in Europe. It's held biannually. And, to look at the trade show behind the bleachers at the show floor, it looks pretty desolate. And we're talking, it's now, well, it is getting to be 6 p.m., but earlier today when it was 2 p.m. there, the middle of what would be a big trade show, it was pretty darn empty. And that's really just to me, that's one of the surprising it probably shouldn't be so surprising, but that's one of the surprising aspects of this year's competition is, unfortunately the attendance is low, but that doesn't really remove from the excitement of the competitors. Like, look at that. Now, there would normally be just hundreds and hundreds of people, not just, maybe there's 200 people there at the most. I mean, truth be told, even our ranks of judges, a lot of our judges from around the world didn't go to Milan because of the COVID, because of, different reasons. Some people don't feel comfortable traveling. Some people, there's so much restrictions in their home country for when they leave and when they return that it's just not worth it to do it. Like one of my judges for Saudi Arabia in December was telling me that he has to go through so much rigmarole when he returns to his home country that it's worth it for him to go out for at least 2 weeks or more just to make it worthwhile. And so, if you were to go away for a week and you have to do another 2 weeks of quarantine, 10 days to 2 weeks of quarantine or whatever, is it worth your time and effort? You've got there's a lot of downside to it. So hopefully as things progress and change, we won't be able to, have better results with the pandemic, and we can get back into the swing of things. Like I reached out to a couple of people that I know that are judges to come to Saudi Arabia in December, and they, a number of them were just kind of like, well, I'm just not traveling right now. I just don't feel comfortable. And I totally understand that. These are great quality judges who I would love to have, but yeah, we just need to have, look at that. That's just, I wish they would hold a static camera on the audience just so we could see that for a bit. So here we are. If you just happen to be joining us either on the live stream or on the replay, We're watching the live stream of the World Barista Championship announcements for the champion itself. We're kind of caught up in the whole, let our sponsors talk to us for a while, which is always, truth be told, it's always the most boring part of it all. But, your sponsors have given a lot of money to be there and to have their name plastered and everything. So you have to give them their due time to speak, to reach out to the audience. And, so we're not really paying too close attention to it because, they're not sponsoring us. So I don't have to worry too much about that. But we can talk and, discuss what's happening in the competition. So some of the things I didn't really cover on the previous live stream was we talked about the scoring of the competition, and the scoring is we're using a system of points 0 to 6, and the 0 to 6 we actually teach our judges to think about the scores in terms of descriptors. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 0 being unacceptable. So if something's unacceptable, we would give it a 0. If it's acceptable, is it time?
From Colombia,
here we go.
Diego Campos.
All right, here we are. We're now announcing the finalists. Ooh, listen to that audio is terrible. Diego Campos from Colombia, representing Amor Perfecto Cafes, as well as, I believe, the Federación of Colombia.
Our second finalist from today, the Barista Champion of Kenya, Martin Shabaya.
Martin Shabaya, excellent competitor here. The interesting about Martin is that he's listed as an independent, so he is not here representing or supported by a cafe or coffee company.
Wojciech Teisler.
Wojciech Teisler is from Ireland. He works for one of the bigger chains, Booley's Teas and Coffee.
The Barista Champion of Australia, Hugh Kelly.
Hugh Kelly from Ona Coffee in Australia. A great competitor there as well, very sharp, very smooth.
The Barista Champion from the United States, Andrea Allen.
Andrea Allen from the United States. Did a nice presentation.
And finally, the Barista Champion of Switzerland, Emmy.
Emmy Fukuhori from Maine Coffee in Switzerland. These are some great competitors. They were really fantastic. To be honest with you, my personal favorites, of course, are Emmy and Martin and Diego. I really like Diego and Martin, mainly because it's always exciting to see competitors from producing countries in the finals, and even more so if they become the champion.
But we won't mess around. So,
all right, here we go.
In 6th position in the 2021 World Barista Championship, we have Wojciech Teisler from Ireland.
All right, Wojciech, 6th place, excellent. All right, good call. Good luck, Ireland. Good work, Ireland.
In 5th place, the Barista Champion, representing Kenya, Martin Shabaya.
I'm a little bit disappointed. I would have liked to see Martin get a little bit higher, maybe even take the World Championship. Hopefully Diego and Emmy will be able to pull it out.
Okay, in 4th position, we have the Barista Champion of Switzerland, Emmy Fukuhori.
Oh, I've been disappointed again. I'm a big fan of Emmy's, but I would like to have seen her take the crown. I would like to have seen that.
In 3rd place, for the 2021 World Barista Championship, is the champion from Australia, Hugh Kelly.
Wow. Surprising. I thought that maybe Hugh Kelly might have taken it back and brought the championship back to Australia.
Okay, so we all
US
are
and
now
Colombia.
going to announce the 2nd place. So we must all give this competitor the massive respect they deserve for finishing in 2nd position. So, to reiterate, in 2nd place, we have the Barista Champion of the United States of
Oh,
America,
yes! Oh, my gosh!
Alan!
Oh, my gosh! That's craziness! Yes! Excuse me, but, you know, yes, it's disappointing for the United States. Very disappointing. However, that means Colombia has taken the World Championship crown. Oh, my gosh, that is just... Holy smokes, that's crazy. Oh, my goodness. That's very exciting.
So, ladies
Colombia's
and
going
gentlemen,
crazy. Colombia's going crazy right now.
Let me introduce you to the new champion, the new 2021 World Barista Champion,
Diego!
Colombia, Diego
Campos! All right. Oh my gosh, amazing, amazing. If I remember correctly, this is the third champion from a competitor from an origin country. We've had Guatemala and El Salvador, and now we've had Colombia.
Incredible.
Incredible. Incredible is
Okay.
right, Dan. Incredible is right.
First reaction, Diego, you would like to say something? You want me to hold it, that it doesn't drop?
No.
Wow. I don't know.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Cannot believe this. I mean, that's my country. I love my country. I love Colombian coffee. This is for you, Colombia. This is for you, all the farmers, all the family, all the pickers, all the hard work. This is for Amor Perfecto family, for my family, for everyone has been supporting me. Thank you very much. Thanks God.
Bueno. Perfect. Awesome. All right.
Everybody put your hands together for the World Barista Champion.
Fantastic. What great news. Diego Campos has been named the 2021 World Barista Champion. And fantastic. I mean, for me, as someone
Thank you all for
that spends a lot of time going to origin, either working with farmers for coffees for Spro, or as, you know, someone that goes there to work with the baristas to run coffee championships there in origin countries. It's super exciting to see them win, not just come to the win their national champ, but to go and to win the entire thing. Amazing. So that's it. And there's Bart and Dan, and wow, there it is. Diego Campos, Andre Allen, Hugh Kelly, Emi Fukuhori, Martin Shabaya, and Wojciech Teisler, all great competitors. They did a great job, and, you know, obviously there's some disappointment. Sure, some disappointment. That's part of the game, unfortunately. But Diego Campos, now the world champion. And man, I gotta say, I'm super excited about that. All right, so that was pretty much it. Thanks for tuning in. Just wanted to bring that to you live, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. We'll be back again next week on Tuesday, 10 a.m. as our normal time. Have a great one.